Hello YouTube! What we're getting to today is reasons you would upgrade your ignition and what it did for me and maybe your own ride. So I want to say about 2 years ago I had to order a 6AL box or basically get an upgraded ignition source. Once I got to 12 pounds, I noticed that once I got in the high boost applications or higher boost, it just gave me lots of problems with the ignition. I would blow out spark. I had a lot of heat underneath the engine bay, so I was roasting wires constantly. For a long time I looked at this and they came out with the 6AL-2 box. Problems for me. I got the 6AL box. I was able to run 35 thousandths and it was solid. Things noticeable on my V6 that I was really impressed with. It had a smoother idle at cruising around town at lower RPMs. It was much, I had to give it less gas and it was much smoother coming off the light. Like for you those drive manuals, you'll know once you let the clutch out a little bit, the engine will tell you how it feels. And basically once I got the 6AL box in, around town was a lot easier. When I released the clutch, the engine at those lower RPMs had a lot more power. At the dyno, we noticed a smoother graph with the dyno chart. And I'm going to show you guys some features on the box. I can't show it to you in the car because it's mounted in a rough location. I couldn't film in it. This is the 6AL-2 box. If you look on the bottom here, it has 4 inputs on it. You have RPM. You have to choose the amount of cylinders you had, and it was very easy to set up. I did it with no wiring harness. Just followed the leads, read the instructions, and matched the wires up that you have to. I would suggest either doing quick connectors when you pull the motor. A lot of guys will tell you to solder them. I would disagree because once you pull out that motor 3 or 4 times and you have to cut your own wires, you're going to get pretty tired of that real quick. Once I did the ignition, I upgraded to the ignition wires, which just smoothed everything out. I found that the heat from the turbo was really harsh on them, and I melted a ton of things, including the cheap ignition wires. These boots have held up better than any other rubber that I bought, especially, you know, the off-brands. And the last thing I'm going to comment about is the two-step. You can look at my other videos of me launching the car on the two-step, and because I have a very heavy flywheel and a big motor, you'll hear that the two-step is very slow. On the contrast, if you listen to Supras or the little imports, they have these little like 11-pound flywheels, so when they get in that two-step mode and the ignition cuts, it's zinging like a piece of music. So I got nothing else to say about that. It took me 5 times at the track, 5 runs to get the two-step dialed in, and it was perfect. I started at 3,000, it was way too low, went to 4. Eventually, that last run that you see on my videos, I launched at 5,500 RPM, and it took like 5 seconds of really holding it before I got up to full boost. And it was, you know, something that we're going to have to play around with and get dialed in, but it was, so thanks guys, have a good day, talk to you soon.